So, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you had a decent lunch, although late, but that's life. Now, I was going to repeat you, Rodrigo, going to ask everybody to make sure that we keep to time. And I'll go straight away. We'll have a very interesting subject, this potentials and challenges of internet and robot and ethics. I mean, that's a whole bunch of problems that are sprouting every day. Every day you have another problem they've never thought before, and maybe you even have another text that you're going to suggest to tax the robots, since they are taking some jobs from some people, since you cannot have people to tax because they've lost their jobs already, so you might tax the robots. That's another interesting thing that some of you might decide to take on. Okay, so go straight away for our first speaker, Professor Asuncion Gomez, who is a professor of artificial intelligence.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So it's a great pleasure to talk in this forum about the work that we are doing in the ontology engineering group, which is devoted mainly to artificial intelligence, semantic technologies, and ontologies. So my talk will start starting from the data, digital data that we have, and later on I will go into what is a data market in the sense of artificial intelligence. After that, I will present in a few words what are ontologies and natural language processing. And later on, I will go into the automated data markets. So we live in a world of digital data, and we have data given by many types of providers. So city halls, governments, devices, research experiments that we do in our labs, and also in social media. And the data comes from different domains: government, energy, health, library, any domain that you have in mind. And also the digital data are in heterogeneous format. So in addition to the classical styles like TXT or PPT or Excel files, we also have cartographic data, sensor data, library data, and all the natural language data that we are providing in different languages. So digital data are multilingual. And in addition, we have different privacy terms and definition and different licenses over the data, over the digital data that we find in internet. So if we classify the data in the open data spectrum, and this slide is borrowed by the Open Data Institute, we can see on the right side, data which is completely open, and also in the left, data which is completely closed. So by closed data, we refer to the national security data. By open data, for instance, we refer to the bus timetable or any data provided by a statistical office. And in between, we have different type of data related with let's say, the data that we provide to the bank or that we provide to our telecom company, and or data which is stored in the central services of hospitals. So data appears in any domain. You have many of them there, and digital cities or smart cities is a place where different type of data coexist, and also with different licenses. And there is also closed data in companies, and you can see in this slide that if we want to integrate data in a particular company, for instance, related with a turbine or an offshore company, we find metadata related with the different turbine or forecast information or data related with the topology of the wind farm, or different reports, and also some statistics already taken just related with the wind speed per day and city, and so on and so forth. So all these files, all this digital data have a lot of metadata that provide information, and in addition, we have the data contained in the different files. And the problem is that from the digital manipulation and management is that the data are complementary, they come in different formats, and these data are not connected. So the poor computer science person, he has to do a lot of work in order to get an integrated view of a domain for making some decision analysis. So let's go. So now that we know that digital data are really wide in scope and also in formats and languages, let's see a bit of the evolution of the data markets. In the past, we had, when people wanted to make some kind of analysis, they started to manually collect the data. So this is an example of the London transport analysis in order to discover the main routes between different places. But this stuff evolved, and during the last century, we have a lot of companies trying to get the behavior of the user, of the individual, just by doing surveys, or by doing polls, or just the individuals providing suggestions to the different mailbox to the policy makers, or users filling forms in different settings and in different scenarios. So this was the way in which the different companies collected the data in order to do some kind of data analysis in order to impact the market later on. So this was the way in which we worked before being connected, before having internet. So right now, what we have are individuals that are connected with other individuals, and individuals that are connected to many devices. So anytime and anywhere, we are providing a lot of data about ourselves, even knowing or without knowing that we are providing the data. So these data are delivered to telecom companies, or to banks, or to different applications, and we don't know where data are stored because we have the application on our mobiles. And also, now with the connected cars and autonomous cars and so on and so forth, also the car are providing the data and some data about how we drive and so on and so forth. So the idea is that, what is happening right now is that all these companies are anonymizing the data, and later on they are selling the data to other companies or to other policymakers, and we as individuals who are located right now in Lisbon, in this beautiful room, we know how many companies already know that we are already here in Lisbon. So the problem is that in the cities and in the smart cities scenarios, we have the cities full of sensors. And we have sensors in the highways, just monitoring the traffic speed. We have sensors in parks, just knowing the air pollution of a particular city. We have sensors in the traffic lights. And also we as a human, we are sensors because we have our mobiles always with us. So we are geolocated, and we can conceive the human being as a sensor, just providing the data. It also happened that we have many applications in our mobiles and computers. And there is a website which is 1 minute in internet, and you can see immediately the statistics of how many tweets, how many posts in Facebook, how many photographs in Instagram, and so on and so forth. So we are delivering data, digital data that are always being analyzed. And also in our mobiles, we have some apps, that tell us, okay, I mean, if you install this app, I can provide you some advice about how healthy your behavior is. I mean, if you sleep well, the nutrition, how many feet you walk every day, and so on and so forth. So just because these applications are helping us, so we install this application in the mobiles and we use them. And there are other more sophisticated applications where they monitor us how when we drive. And in that particular case, let's say some companies can offer us some discounts just because we are good drivers, or if we are bad drivers, then we can get an increase in the insurance that we pay. So, and again, there is open data, closed data, data that are related with privacy information and general data, and of course the data again are multilingual. And all these companies on the right are working and doing research in integrating data coming from multilingual formats. Let's say if I analyze, and I have my agenda in Google Calendar, this was my agenda of the week. So now it is in green. I'm here in Lisbon. Green means that I'm traveling. So this is a fact that Google knows, just because I told Google that I was in my agenda, that they plan to come here. So, but from the data that we introduce in some agendas, so I mean, let's say we are providing a lot of data to Google, and immediately Google can go to the web page, and then I know that Google knows that I'm here, and just because he knows the program, who is in HTML on internet, so immediately they know, it knows that you are also there. So the problem is that all our outdoor personal data has been sometimes inadvertently captured by all these companies, and we a priori gave the permission, because when we use Google Maps, this is because we want to get a functionality, which is to go from one place into another in a cheaper way. So we activate the location, and immediately Google starts retrieving all the paths and ways where we are. So in that case, he can provide the statistics and the statistic of how many feeds I gave. But also all the mobiles and all the tweets that we provide and all the information is already recorded. So let's say this is a map of my three last months, traveling a lot in Spain, visiting other countries, and you can see on the right side also that I was in China. So by analyzing the details already taken by Google, so in that particular case, someone could infer that I was on vacation in Paris, or someone could infer that I was working in Tongji in China just because I was visiting near to the Tongji University. Okay, so let's say from geographical knowledge, and also from the knowledge that we explicitly provide in the calendar or in many applications, a lot of knowledge about how we behave can be inferred automatically by machines. And also, programs can also infer the daily behavior that we have. So this is the path from my house to the central offices at UPM, and just looking by patterns in the different graphs, then immediately people can see which one is my route, or if every Wednesday I go gym at 8 a.m. in the morning, so immediately, and this can be used for providing publicity to us. So I mean, let's say let's say the companies already know what we do outdoor, because every time we are with our mobiles. But also companies know what we do indoor. So there are some devices that analyze the power consumption at home. So based on the frequencies, so people know, I mean, some companies know how we behave. I mean, how many times we put the washing machine, which one is the electricity consumed by us. So in that case, the home appliance has been used just for knowing how do we behave at home. So in this, with this application, we can see the light consumption, the refrigerator consumption, the oven consumption, and so on and so forth. So this is the knowledge that is taken mainly from devices, outdoor and indoor. But when we are working and when we are reading and we are posting in different media, we are also writing a lot of documents, a lot of tests. And in that case, there is a field of the artificial intelligence, which is the natural language processing. And natural language processing means that machines are able to understand what is written in a test. So by sophisticated programs and analysis, so we can infer that a particular document is related with government, public data, or another documents are related with with health, or with transport, or even though with energy and smart cities. So programs, artificial intelligence program, natural language processing programs are analyzing what is written in text in order to discover what the test is about. And also, my group participated in the Panama Papers. I don't know if you are aware of the Panama Papers. So Panama Papers are just exploiting natural language processing together with ontologies in order to discover entities in documents. So in that particular case, we applied the field of ontologies. We made a model just for discovering companies, place, and people. And then we made a program for automatically read some of the leaks of some of the documents in the Panama Papers. And based on that, we made and we were able of visualizing some of the companies and relations between companies, the network of people and places, and how they were related on the top of the conference. So the model was really simple. This was a very simple ontology, just to guide how to read and understand and to search for entities in the test. So with this huge amount of information, and just because we are providing a lot of data about ourselves and also about others, because when we make pictures and we put our pictures in Instagram, sometimes we don't ask permission to the others, but there are also some kind of mechanisms for detecting images and for discovering that a particular image belongs to a particular person. So when we use this application to read the terms and conditions, is boring, really, really boring, and they are really long. And possibly so the question is, who have read sometimes the terms and conditions completely before accepting the use of the application? I mean, almost nobody. Everybody just click, I accept, and then go ahead. So the point is that the companies are deciding the rules that users must agree. So at some point in time, the companies are proposing a particular law, a particular behavior, and either you agree with the terms and conditions, or you cannot use anymore the application. So if you accept, you can use. If you reject, you cannot use the application. So in that particular case, I have already taken 3 different licenses. So, but for using Google Maps, you need to activate the location, and immediately you are completely monitored. The other point is that if we have a clear idea of the data privacy policies and what we are signing, I mean, let's say, because at some point we can find some terms and conditions, like the one posted in this slide, like you automatically grant to the company, its affiliates, licenses, and successor a non-exclusive transferable and sub-licensable, I mean, everything. You can give all the data to the company, and the company can sell the data to anyone in the world. So there is no cloud. I mean, let's say people tell I will introduce in my cloud, but as soon as the company sells the data to third party, immediately there is no cloud because you don't know where your data are already stored. So if we go into the terms and conditions, there are many types of data that we are providing, and many types of data are disclosed. So we have some kind of personal data, like the birthday, the gender, the phone number, the nickname. We also have device data, which is the type of device that we are using. So from the type of device, we can also infer things like if a person who likes technology or who dislike, for instance, or we also have application-dependent personal data based on how we behave with a particular application, or we can also have usage information about the particular application and also how we behave in social networks, okay? So all this information is associated to the terms and conditions that we accept most of the time without knowing that. Let's say there is also a lot of information that just to provide an insight about how digital marketers are using the information we write on internet. So suppose that you write a tweet, and when you write a tweet, this is what you see on the top, but what the raw data available in the tweet is the set of symbols that appear below. And from this set of symbols, we can we know some precise data, like the date of the post, the text of the tweet, the device, the way one person is working, the interest. So there are a lot of companies that are using all this information, either published on Twitter, Facebook, Google, or in other media, just to do sentiment analysis, just to know the user needs that we have, just to know the purchase intention that we have when we try to buy a product, just for monitoring our health, and possibly later on to increase or decrease our insurance. And based on that, they know our habits, and then they provide the personalized marketing to us. So, but the most important part is that also they know where we are, and if we are in a place, we are not in another. So this kind of basic inferences can be easily done by a computer. So if with all the kids in my parents' place, and I make pictures and I say, then immediately a computer can infer that I'm not at home. And a person could go into my house and steal something. So in that case, it is important to be careful with what we write in these kind of things. So in order to allow computers to massively understand all the data, we use ontologies. And the ontologies are computer models that allow to understand what is written in a text, for instance, without to have any kind of human intervention. So in the ontology, we provide terms, we classify the domains, we do some kind of draw and pictures like this one, and ontologies are vocabularies that are consensuated in a particular domain. And there are for many of them. So we have vocabularies for detecting people in documents, or the testing organization, or for getting the metadata of vocabularies, representing statistics, and so on and so forth. At the end, in most of the application, we have the data, but the most important part are the metadata associated to the data that we have. And in that particular case, the metadata could be related with the provenance of the device, could be related with the licenses associated to the data, the language, the privacy information, and additional information related with geolocation, spatial, and time. And there are already some places where we can provide conditional access to data. So with this simple model, which is an ontology, I can say who can use, who cannot use, and under which condition a particular data can be used. So when we are talking about automated data market, what we are saying is that in all this set of users, enterprises, companies, governments, and so on, providing data, we need to enforce and to strengthen the regulations and also the personal, to provide some means in order to detect the personal preferences of particular users. And we need to digitally represent all this information in order to allow machines to infer knowledge in a safe environment. So now when we are talking about automated data marketing, computer science, what we are saying is that it is the user who says, I want my data to be given in a particular way, following some kind of privacy policies. And with some codes like this one, I can say that I authorize my data to be used, anonymized for every public research and science investigation. Okay, so the obligations are data should be anonymized, and the constraint is only that the data are allowed only for research. So the same data can be delivered and can be used according to different policies. So there are right now some companies and some experiments, some companies and also some research groups that are doing research on these issues, and the individual provide the policies, and the policies you can see there that are filtering the information who is delivered. So at the end, the difference between the human and the machine data markets are that the machines data markets always apply 24/7 because the algorithms are running day and night. And machines can be taught to be compliant with the law. And finally, we can implement with this information, with this kind of languages, the perfect rights and provenance information in order to allow machines to use in the proper way. So the conclusion is that in the near future, we believe that artificial intelligence, semantic web, and in particular ontologies, will help in keeping the automated data markets according to the law, because at this moment there are a lot of data which is available, and people are selling and buying data without mainly the permission of the users, although they already click the button accepting the condition. So thank you very much.
Thank you for reminding us of so many dangers we might incur, not only when we use our computer, because then we are mostly aware, but when we use the phone, we forget that we are giving a lot of data when we're using the phone. Time for a gentleman question, please.
What Google does and Amazon does is basically invasion of privacy.
Sorry?
How can we minimize this invasion of privacy by these companies?
The point is that when you accept the terms and conditions immediately, you are accepting the use of you are providing the data, even though without knowing. There are different ways in which you can prevent the companies to use your data. So let's say, if you have the location on your mobile when you are working, you are not providing to some companies the you cannot provide it to some companies, like in Google Maps, the location, but however, the telecom companies already know where you are just because of the antenna. I think that the first thing is the main problem is not on us. The main problem is mainly in teenagers and kids who are using mainly all this application without knowing the risk. Education is crucial in the sense that we need to teach the boys and girls what they can do and what they cannot do on internet. And from our perspective, I think that this, the current status in which people can decide who can use the data, under which condition. I mean, the power should go back into the user, who is the owner of the data, not to the company who is providing the service. The problem is that these applications or these companies already provided us a service, apparently for free, and we are paying with the data that we are providing to them.
Facebook makes it very difficult to privatize the information that they get from you. So that they basically assume that you've given consent if you don't actually go into the privacy system and block them. And this understood consent, I think, should be illegal.
Yep.
Well, we must keep to the time. Thank you very much for the warnings that you gave us.